Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the beautiful Sunshine Coastline for Train Sim. It has been released. It came out just this Friday, and today, as you can see, we are here at Clacton-on-Sea railway station, which is again incredibly well modelled, in a class 360, which we'll be driving down to London Liverpool Street today. As you can see, I'm sure this is what Clacton-on-Sea station looks like in real life. They've spent a year and a half on this incredible project. Can we have some fact checking from locals, please? The Clacton carriage sidings is just over here. So just for a little bit of clarification, today we are going to be driving 1 November 47, which is the 1605 Greater Anglia service starting here bound for London Liverpool Street. We will be calling at Thorpe-le-Soken, Wivenhoe, Colchester, Witham, Chelmsford, Ingatestone, Shenfield, Stratford and London Liverpool Street, so the same calling pattern as always. Before I introduce everyone in chat, I'd just like to say well, let's say hello to JP Railway Photography 2020, who knows the Sunshine Coastline very well, to say the least.
Hello.
Indeed he is here.
The one and only.
Alright, off we go. Now departing out of Clacton-on-Sea. Oh, with our headlights apparently. Hello to CP Trains. Hello to Clark Coulsdon 007 as well. Hello, welcome to the stream. Clark Coulsdon 007, I know you're a local to the Sunshine Coastline, so hopefully you do enjoy. The Bigger B, hello as well, welcome to the stream, hope you're well.
Just to know, I'm going to do some guard announcements on this service because whenever I'm on this particular service or whatnot, I hear them a lot, so just one thing to know.
Hello to Sean as well, welcome to the stream, hope you're well. Can I get a link to the Discord server? What I'm going to do now is, East Midlands Railway fan is usually here dealing with that. I will send you my Discord thing in chat, so if you accept a message request from me, then I will be able to add you to the server. So that is my Discord tag. Do send me a message and then I'll get the link across to you as soon as possible. It's just that we don't want to put the link publicly in chat because we don't want stuff like spam bots, etc.
People these days are not that trustworthy these days.
It's not the people, it's people programming computers to do it, which is unfortunate. My local line is the West Anglia main line. Oh yes, the West Anglia main line is good, but it is in real need of an upgrade, particularly between Broxbourne and Liverpool Street. We did start a petition on change.org as almost a bit of a joke. We started a petition called Quadruple the West Anglia main line between Liverpool Street and Broxbourne. We're on 5 signatures so far, so if you could go onto change.org and do have a look for that petition and do sign it so that we can get Network Rail and the DFT involved in get quadrupling the West Anglia main line.
They're working on the Walton-on-Naze line now.
Yes, they are, the developers of this. They're doing very well. I will attach a link to the Facebook group in the description after the stream as well. Will you ever do a Train Sim World stream? Yes, definitely. I know that Rush Hour for Train Sim World is coming up this summer, probably in the next couple of weeks or so, which is very good. So we'll definitely give that a try, won't we? Between Liverpool Street. Between yes, between Victoria and Brighton. Alright, off you go, guard announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard your 1605 Greater Anglia service from Clacton-on-Sea to London Liverpool Street. We will then call at Thorpe-le-Soken at 1613, Wivenhoe at 1624, Colchester at 1633, Witham at 1646, Chelmsford 1655, Ingatestone at 1702, Shenfield at 1708, Stratford at 1724 and arriving into Liverpool Street at 1732. Any passengers that require Wheelie, Great Bentley, Hythe, Almsford, Colchester Town, please change at Folkestone and change for the 1617 stopper service to Colchester via Colchester Town. Next stop will be Folkestone at 1613.
Very nice. This double track is definitely needed for the West Anglia main line. Yeah, especially when Crossrail 2 is cancelled. But if Crossrail 2 does, or Crossrail 2 is probably not going to go ahead, but if for some reason they change their minds, then that would be a good excuse to quadruple it, won't it?
You can tell I know the announcements on the guard things.
We'll have to get rid of the guard before Colchester because we're a guard operated only as far as there.
Yeah.
But you can still continue to do the announcements, of course.
Yeah. I've basically covered the whole line from London to Clacton and whatnot.
I've never actually been down to Clacton before. I'd quite like to do that this summer.
You can get a bus from Clacton to Walton direct now.
Yeah, so there's a few services that go from Clacton to Walton, aren't they?
Yeah. There's the 97 and 98. And I think that's about it, I think. I'll just have a double check before we approach 40 seconds.
As we do approach Folkestone, something very interesting happens here. We have parallel running with another train. This is one of the very few places in the UK where this happens. We'll be joined by a Walton-on-Sea to London Liverpool Street service, which will be joining us just off the opposite track here, so I am going to slow down so that we do get some nice parallel running action, so we arrive into the platform at exactly the same time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're now approaching our first stop, Folkestone, where we can change here for services to Walton-on-Sea and a Colchester stopper service via Colchester Town. Any passengers require Almsford, Great Bentley, Wheelie, Hythe, please change here for the 1617. Next stop, Folkestone.
So if you've ever wondered why there are no direct services between Liverpool Street and Walton-on-Sea, it's because of this. How are we doing in terms of parallel running? Not very well, are we? We need to slow down a bit more. If you're, for example, if you want to go to Walton-on-Sea, you can get a Clacton train as far as Folkestone, get off the train there, and then right next to you should be the Walton train. It's very well organised. You'll see what I mean when I carry along. For example, if there are any passengers from Walton that want to get down to London, they can join our train here. It's just behind us. You can see there, that 321. West Anglia Main Line only got electrified in the late 80s. Wow, did it? Was it really that late? So at least the one track medium water was, I mean, that's just increased. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's helped a bit. We need to really slow down.
This Walton train should be a 4-car.
Yep. Yesterday I went to Colchester on the train. I got a class 321 there and back. Oh, you're lucky. Yeah, there's not going to be much longer left for the 321s, is there? Before they get taken over by the 720s. Here's a 321. It's not going to stop at the proper correct marker, but... So that 321 has come from Walton. If you have come from Walton and you do want to get down to London, then you can change onto our beautiful Clacton to London train here, which is very convenient for many passengers, although its doors don't seem to be opening.
Some AI can be like that.
Yeah, AI trains in train sim, I worry about them sometimes. He's literally just gone off the end of the platform of it, so he can't open any of his doors. Anyway, we're now off. We arrived slightly late, but we're now ready to depart for our next stop, which will be at Wivenhoe. They have done the graphics very well, and I don't have all the requirements, so some of it might look a little bit off. We might see some unusually green flat fields, but apart from that, yeah, they have done it pretty well.
Indeed.
And this is the last link for the Great Eastern Main Line. You can drive the entire Great Eastern Main Line now, including with this route. The only bit that's not made yet is the tiny spur down to Walking-on-the-Naze, but that should be released within, hopefully in the next month or so. And this even looks better than some DTG routes, which says something.
I'm going to do another guard announcement, as they always do, between Clacton and Colchester.
Alright.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard passengers that joined us here at Horbury Circle. Your 1613 Greater Anglia service to London Liverpool Street will now call at Wivenhoe at 1624, Colchester at 1633, Witham at 1646, Ingatestone at Chelmsford at 1655, Ingatestone at 1702, Shenfield at 1708, Stratford at 1724, and London Liverpool Street at 1732. Next up will be Wivenhoe in approximately 10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes is a bit pessimistic, but we'll see where we get. We're aiming to arrive there hopefully in about 8 minutes or so. I saw a few 720s, but I saw a lot of 745s, and once I filmed at the far end of Colchester because I felt like nearly every YouTuber filmed at the far end. Yeah, what did you film at the far end of platform 4, the northbound side? That's a route. That's probably the best spot at Colchester.
It usually takes 14 minutes from Horbury Circle to Wivenhoe.
Yeah, right.
Because when my grandparents used to live in Clacton and whatnot, we used to get the train from Clacton to Colchester, and from Horbury Circle to Wivenhoe it's 14 minutes roughly.
You may also notice the custom sounds for this route, for this train. They were made by me. The squeaky tone was one I recorded at Watford Junction. It was actually on a 350. But I've adapted it for 360.
Ignore the background noise, it's just my...
I'm going to try and film a new livery class 707 tomorrow. Ooh. Are they in the southeastern blue livery? Clark Coburn, you'll be very, very happy. We're shortly passing Great Bentley.
I don't know why, but I like filming at that level crossing now.
The 360 is very quiet.
This 1605 service that you're doing is usually a 12 car.
Is that alright? Oh, Southeastern Blue, I believe on its first ever appearance. Oh, diagrams. Do you know the diagrams? Please send them to me.
Just one thing to note, Charlie. There's a Greater Anglia 321 going down to Wolverton and Doncaster next week.
Oh.
It's going for a Finchley Cup just after 1 o'clock. I think it's 1324.
321, 324 is the only one up there.
Yeah, that might be the unit that's off.
What's in Great Bentley?
One of the workings will be cancelled, but the Doncaster to Wolverton will run. It'll go by the North London line.
Oh, that's good. I might be able to catch it down there then. The crossing at Brimsdown and Enfield Lock is madness for trains. Yeah, it absolutely is. The barriers there spend more time down than up. That's partially... Or they should just build a bridge there. I mean, although it does... There are parts of it that don't really have very good road access. They can always just bridge over it. Siemens made amazing trains, didn't they?
Danny, if you arrive into Colchester a minute earlier or whatnot, you can see the Norwich to London coming before your service departs.
We'll see whether we can see that one. Hopefully we will.
Because the Norwich service is usually in front of the Clacton service.
Yeah, it's really well made, including with the AP track textures as well.
Next AI you should see is D1624 that goes to Clacton.
You seem to know that line very well.
Well, if you have a look at my channel, I've done a onboard journey review from Clacton to Colchester on a 360.
Yeah, nice. I think that's a Walton train because it's a 4-car, but I didn't check.
No, it's a Clacton service.
I think that's a Walton train because it's a 4-car, but I didn't check.
And works.
Let's have a look. What was it? Oh, it was a Walton train.
Is it?
I'm just going to sort something with the sound because there might be a bit of overlap going on. I do apologise for this. I think I know why.
Let me just have a look.
Oh, yep, there we go. We do have a bit of overlap going on. Excuse that. So you might hear my voice twice. Now that should be sorted. You should be able to hear me properly now. My mic should sound okay. Here's Chelmsford. Hello Essex Mainline, welcome to the stream. We are on one of the various Essex main lines now. Like they did for the Coulsdon crossing, built a bridge. Then they should do that at Enfield Lock, all of it Brimsdale. I mean that area is a bit more built up, isn't it? But there's no reason why they can't do it. We just passed Alsford, I think.
No, it's Wheeling.
Alsford. Next stop will be Wivenhoe very soon. We might actually arrive on time.
This is the diagram for the new river. 5 Quebec 19 1104 GMM EMUD to Grove Park.
Oh, okay. I will have a look at that. And I assume that will go through Bromley South, or the Chatham main line, the main bit. Bromley South area. Yes, new livery Southeastern 707. I'll see if I can pop down tomorrow. Now going down a very steep 1 in 79 down gradient. I don't know whether this exists here in real life. I'm sure it does. Yes. We're now arriving into Wivenhoe station.
We're now arriving into Wivenhoe, where you can change here for services to Clacton-on-Sea and Walton next. Next stop, Wivenhoe.
Oh, we come into the platform at textbook speed. Let's see whether we can do a textbook stop as well. We're a bit late, but... Right, we might have to go a bit offensive here, but I'll have a look.
No, you're actually a minute early, actually. Right.
No, we're a bit late. We are going to arrive a few seconds late, but that's no big deal. Where's the 8-car stop? Is there no 8-car stop here?
It's at the end.
Final stop at the 12-car then.
'12 and 8-car in real life is at the end.
Fair enough. As we arrived at Wivenhoe. As arriving in now we have an ex-Northern Class 322. 322484 is this one.
You won't have a great Anglia destination here.
This must be the Clacton service because it's an 8-car.
Yeah, it is a Clacton service.
Clacton-on-Sea, yeah, 321356. It will do Gillingham, Rochester, Gravesend, Dartford, Sidcup, Grove Park Depot. When I was on the way back in, because that's the next message. I see. I might film down along that line, so that's just I can get there in 1, 2, 3 trains, so that's not too bad. Sidcup, Grove Park Depot. I'm trying to get my bearings on there, so we'll go. Oh, I'll go down that line then. So you can either see it Sidcup, Lee, somewhere like that.
You could always see it at Lewisham, can't you?
Lewisham's not on the Sidcup loop.
Or is it not? Oh. Not sure.
Well, it is, but the wrong part. If you count it as a Sidcup route. Right, I'm ready to depart out of Wivenhoe. Next stop will be Colchester. Oh, yes, that does happen. It is quite interesting. You can really, you really think after playing it in Train Sim, you think, oh, I know exactly what this driver's doing. It's funny, isn't it, Clark O'Brien?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard your 1624 Great Anglia Series 2 London Liverpool Street. We'll be now reporting at Colchester, Witham, Chelmsford, Ingatestone, Shenfield, Stratford, and London Liverpool Street at 17:32. Next stop, Colchester at 16:33.
We do have a river estuary bit around here. Not too sure what river it is. It does look very nice. We can hear the birds as well.
I don't know why, because Clacton is miles away from the seaside.
We're sort of on, you know, the bit where how Clacton's on a little hanging off bit. We're on the southern end of that now, curving slightly up further north now towards Hive.
Oh, I see.
Do you want all the diagrams for the 707s for the upcoming week, including the non-new livery ones? Yes, please. Do send them over to me on Discord, please. That would be much appreciated. And I'll see which ones I can find and hunt down. Because I haven't filmed a 707 of South Eastern yet. Really? That early? They're being introduced. Do you have a yellow signal, so I'm going to decelerate to 45. Well, it's 45 or half line speed, whichever is lower, so I'm going to go to 30. This is just my protocol for what happens when I see a yellow signal. Alright, it's a false road we can go through. This is a glitchy thing with the route, or it's a glitchy thing with the Steam Workshop version of the route as well. Red signals are a bit broken. This signal up ahead is it is a green signal, so we can go through it. The 707's a new September timetable change, that'll be brilliant. Hey guys, the river that links Colchester to Chelmsford is known as the River Chelmer and Black Waters. That explains, that'll be what we just saw, Black Water. It did look like very black water, didn't it?
Looks like it, probably.
Anyway, now passing Hive, just going on this
Which
sharp
is the
left-hand
transport
curve. Oh, look at that. There's a really sharp curve. As we're now here at Hive Junction, the line towards Colchester Town diverges off to the left. The thing is that over a quarter of the fleet is ready to enter service. The drivers can definitely do Cannon Street Orpington now. Lots of training overnight and during the day right now. So they could enter service in September. Now here at Eastgate Junction, the lines from Colchester Town are joining us. So if you're getting on a Colchester Town to Liverpool Street service, it'll come through this way. Yeah, I see. I don't think the 707 is going to be with South Eastern for very long. They're probably going to get kicked off to another operator. So they're getting rid of their 377s as well, aren't they? That's Hamlet Junction. We saw the line going north down up the Great Eastern Main Line, just diverging off there. We're continuing along this way, up the incline that will eventually take us to the Great Eastern Main Line that I'm sure many of us have seen before, but never driven in train sim before. I got really worried there. Was that a false red? Doesn't look... Oh, that is a red signal, but we can... I'm pressing tab, we can go through it. I don't think it's been confirmed that the 377s are going, but I guess all that 465 and 377s will be going to the next franchise change. Probably, yeah, it depends on the next franchise, doesn't it, really? Because I'm not sure actually when the next franchise, the Southeastern franchise is, but I guess it's their decision. They might get rid of the 707s as well, who knows. Where's East Midlands Railway fan? He's probably out spotting, isn't he? I've got no idea. He's probably out spotting. Should be in Discord VCU, but never mind. Now arriving into Colchester Platform 4, one of the longest single structure platforms in the UK. Because technically Platform 4 and Platform 3 are both both one platform, but they're separate platforms. And we really should be stopping before this signal, so I'm going to go really hard into brakes. That we shouldn't have done that. Anyway, we're here at Colchester Platform 4. Yes, both Platform 4 and Platform 3 here can accommodate 12-car trains. So that puts into perspective how long it is. But the longest platform structure that's one platform is Gloucester. That has Platform 1 is all one big platform there. Oh, the franchise ends October 2021, March 2022, so the same as the Thameslink one, isn't it? Or the GTR one. It's a very nice screenshot there. And the emergency brake's going off, or the DSD's going off, so let's slam the train into emergency and back out again. That's how you sort that out. Platforms here at Colchester. Platform 4 is used by stopping, for example, Clacton and Ipswich to London Liverpool Street services. Platform 3, just down there, which we went past, is used by fast Class 745 services from Norwich usually. They can be a bit of an overlap. Platform 5 here is used for terminating Walton services. So, for example, that 321, which I'm not actually too sure where it is, that will come into Platform 5, terminate, and then form a service back out to Walton. Not too sure where Josh has gone. I'll have a check up on him. I'm just redialing in. Hopefully he'll answer back. Yeah, the call did a stupid. The call did a stupid. We're now leaving Colchester. When you enter Chelmsford station, you can see the Chelmsford signal blocks when you enter platform 1. I'll have a look for that. They have upgraded the route, so hopefully they do include that. Been to Colchester a few times, lovely town. Colchester station is very nice. It's definitely worth a visit. I haven't really been into the main part of Colchester before though. Anyway, our next stop will be Witham in just under 13 miles. So there's Colchester carriage sidings just on our right here.
Indeed.
It's quite empty today, doesn't it? I don't see the 707s going. Maybe they'll be able to get more same spec class 707s or 4-car 707s. Siemens do like to carry on a project 350-3s after they stopped. That's a good point. So maybe we will see 4-car 707s, or they'll get reduced or something like that.
Three 777s on Southeastern, I should say, are now doing Ramsgate services now.
Yes, you did see one on the Ramsgate service. Josh was at Victoria to see the 67 Pullmans just last week, and he managed to see 377s on Ramsgate. This is via Herne Bay, via Bromley South, Rochester, Herne Bay to Ramsgate services were being operated by Class 377s, which we're a bit confused about, but definitely is. Would love to go back to Colchester again sometime.
Yeah, we should arrange for him if status don't fail.
It's speculated all operators will use the 707s as a temporary allocation until they find a new fleet. It's possible, but then that's a bit of a waste, isn't it? Just because it just gets thrown around. But hopefully that's not the case. And I hope, as much as I hope the 707s stay with Southeastern.
I think only in Russia, I think Clacton's services stop at Marks Tey.
I've always been confused why the Clacton services don't stop at Marks Tey. Everything else except the Norwich fast services do. Talking of Norwich fast services, we've got a 90 coming up. Oh no, that's not a 90, that's a 66.
Yeah, you call a 90, 66.
Wait, well, it did have a 90 at the rear, so I don't think that was supposed to be there.
I reckon that was supposed to be dragging the 66.
Sometimes Charing Cross to Robertsbridge services are 377s. Oh, they go down there. And they do service out of Charing Cross. That's interesting. But they're not quite in a common pool yet with 375s, are they?
I also forgot to mention I saw a Southeastern 377 going Ramsgate via Canterbury East.
That seems like a usual service, right? Out of Victoria. Now passing Marks Tey already, we come very quickly, and we've just passed a red signal before I could press tab on it, which means that we will end up slowing down, which is very annoying, but what can you do? So yeah, this route is a bit glitchy. You may remember when we drove Norwich to Liverpool Street in the 321, we got held up a few red signals as well. There is nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. Because it uses the same base route, but hopefully we won't encounter as many issues. Right, let's just get back up to speed as quickly as possible. And they can't get to Hastings, St Leonard's Depot. They use Ashford stock 377s. Ah, I see. So that's why they end up at Charing Cross.
Fair enough.
Yeah, do ignore the red signals. That's slightly strange. Good place to train spot when you go there. You'll see the 745 Stadler and the freight coming as well. You also see the new 720s Alstom 5 car together they make up a 10 car unit. Indeed. Colchester will be a great place to come. Also, Marks Tey will be a great place to come, if that's what you're referring to. Never actually filmed there before. Josh has.
Yeah. Many times.
The game wanted to make you a liar by making you stop at Marks Tey. You didn't get me that time.
Did anyone hear about AP making a 387, 379 and 377 pack?
Yes, that is what AP are doing. AP are going to be making the 377-6 and -7, 379 and 387 enhancement, or it's actually a new pack, which will be available probably in the next couple of weeks. So do have a look on their Facebook for latest updates. They are working on that at the moment. It looks really good. It's so much of an upgrade compared to the old Super Alps model. I'm really looking forward to that as well. As soon as that comes out, we'll have a look at it. When I say Super Alps model, Super Alps reskin.
I don't see the point AP doing a 379 included because that's only good for AI at the moment.
In 379, there's not really there is a section of the Great Eastern, not Great Eastern. There is a section of the West Anglia mainline you can drive in train sim between Chesington and Stansted Airport, but that's about it. And otherwise, you've just got AI around Liverpool Street. Same with the C2C 387, unless you're doing like an interim scenario on the Great Western between Reading and Newbury. There's not really much point of it being there because the C2C network isn't in train sim.
I mean, someone is making the Shuby to London.
Yeah, they've said that that's not going to be for public release.
Then why they're developing then?
I don't know, just for personal use. I assume they're not doing it for. They're not distributing it to the public because it was nearly 2 years ago they beta tested it and they never released it.
That's a bit stupid to tell you.
I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's due to copyright or something like that. Now passing Coulsdon Station. Another great place to spot. Now passing Coulsdon Station.
I think Happy Purple is a good spot for spotting as well.
We do pass Happy Purple as well along the way today, of course. Just after Witham. Yes, this 360 is very fast.
Hatfield Pebble and Witham sat 5 minutes on the plane.
Yeah, they're really not very far away at all. They're barely 2.5 miles away from each other. Flyby and horn, please. Fair enough, let's go. I get a nice squeaky tone from the 360, which is what I added for the sound pack.
I think if you do want to spot at Hatfield Pebble, there's only one Pacific service that stops there, which is the Ipswich to London service.
The Braintree service used to stop at Hatfield Pebble as well, but they stopped that. Which is annoying, so it only gets 1 train an hour anymore.
Let me see if they still do services that stop at Hatfield Pebble from Braintree. That they do, but could be wrong.
I can't help but notice that the squeak is a bit quieter than the standard tone, but I will change that. I haven't really fine-tuned it yet.
Yeah, no services during the day stop at Hatfield Pebble from Braintree.
We are going to arrive really early into Witham, so I'm just going to... In fact, we do need to slow down, actually. I was about to say should be coast, but...
should see the Braintree service coming in. If I remember rightly.
Yes, the 360 was made way back when Siemens made half decent trains. I'm not saying that the 700s and the Deseret Cities are bad trains, because they're not, but they were a lot better back then.
You should see the 1647 to Ipswich in the platform in a minute. As it comes in at comes in 3 minutes.
Right, it's not added, but at Witham, the 8-car stop on the main Great Eastern route is about here, so that's where we're going to stop.
Yeah, you're in the right place for the 8-car.
The Great Eastern is one of the routes I route learned months and months and months ago, and it's just some of that knowledge has come a bit back to me now.
Now, if this was in real life, you would need to stop at the 12-car.
Because it would be a 12. You were saying it would be a 12-car service.
Yeah.
And we should be correct if the 4-car stop is just where the 2 units meet. Oh, there's no 4-car stop here either, but I seem to remember it was. I can't remember where the 4-car stop was, because I never drove a 4-car on the Great Eastern.
They occasionally drive a 4-car from London to Liverpool Street to Clacton, but not anymore. Man.
I remember even post-COVID, I remember seeing one service that was a Ipswich service that was operated by 4-car 321. And the emergency brakes are gone again. But it does seem like, for example, they are doing 5 cars to Southend. So the 720s, I mean the 720s are almost double the capacity that the 321s are, so that's fair enough.
I'm not too keen on the 720s, to be honest.
No, I like the 720s. The 720s are alright. They're probably the best adventures have been made by quite a long shot.
Not really. No, not in my opinion.
The seats are more comfortable than on the rest of them. For example, on the TfL and London Overground ones, they're basically just park benches, but actually on the 345s they're not too bad, but on the 710s they're the worst, and the 720s they're actually shaped well. And of course you get... Oh, here's a 4-car actually. There's a 4-car 321 as we were talking about.
That's off to Ipswich.
Oh, it actually hasn't got a destination on that one, but I'll take your word for it. Anyway, we're now ready to depart. Next stop will be at Chelmsford.
That would be the 1647 to Ipswich.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Next stop will be Chelmsford in just under 9 miles.
We'll later from the 1752 back to the Liverpool Street. It randomises what route trains do from London Liverpool Street, because say the train comes in from Clacton to London Liverpool Street or whatnot, it could easily change into a Braintree, Southend, Ipswich, Colchester Town or whatnot. It's a different unit back or same unit on the return.
I'm sure they've got some sort of rotation for it.
Do you want to be told the diagrams of the midnight 707 services?
I think it's highly unlikely that I'll be in the southeastern area at about midnight, so maybe not, but if you do want to send them through, then do send them through.
I think it's very unlikely anyone will be out at midnight unless they're coming out from pubs.
Or if you're stuck on an 800 stuck at Berwick for 3 hours like someone was last night, if you're watching the stream, please say hello. Because you arrived into London, something like 11:30 last night? As we're now passing Hatfield Peveril. It does look a bit different to the original Great Eastern mainline London to Ipswich, but I can't tell you what's different. It just looks a bit more full and better textured, which I can totally understand. Got the A12 on our left again, like you usually do in the area. Yes, the 360s are just so quiet. I really want to have a ride on them with East Midlands Railway.
There's only 2 units in the EMR at the moment.
Or just any Corby service, I assume.
All Corby services here.
Probably just hop on one up to Luton and back. Will you be selling the CSM 360 pack? Probably not, because no one will buy it, and 2, it already uses existing sounds from AP, so I can't redistribute those. For example, the low tone on that one, that's not mine, that's AP's, but the high tone is. You can probably tell a distinctive quality difference as well. That's AP's one. That's my one. You can hear the obvious looping on it.
I think if I did do a ride on the EMR 360s, I'll probably go as far as Bedford.
Quite like to spot at Bedford as well. CP Trains, you went to Bedford, didn't you? Do you recommend it? I remember you were there on one of the last weeks the HSTs were operating. Again, redistributing stuff from AP like that. That AWS sound you just heard. That's from the 700 pack that I already had, and that is an AP sound. That's from the 450 enhancement pack, so I wouldn't be able to redistribute that. But I could put like a small patch on Alan Thompson's sim that just contains the new sounds. Bedford is good. I went about 1 month before the HSTs went. I still need to edit my HST video. So Bedford might be worth a visit now. And then you got the 230s as well, which are back in service now, aren't they? Because during COVID, it was replacement buses most of the time.
What's the services in Bedford collected on the
No, they might be. I've got Chelmsford sidings on the right. This used to be a coal siding. I got a shed there. And Josh has gone again. We'll get him back again after Chelmsford. Getting a bit defensive into the stop here, but we'll see how we get. We're running a bit early anyway, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. It's looking very textbook so far. Except I can't remember where the 8-car stop is here. That's the 4-car, it's just coming up. So the 8-car will be the next one. Let's get Josh back, shall we? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, the call cut out again.
Something's going on with the messenger today, I can tell.
Yeah, it's being a bit strange, isn't it? Anyway, we just arrived in at Chelmsford.
Yep, which I'll be going via on Saturday next week.
Chelmsford seems to be the place where I always change trains. It's always, when I'm around Ipswich sort of area, I usually get off a Stadler, and then a couple of minutes behind it there's always a Braintree Liverpool Street service, which I change from. In fact, I sit usually on this bench right here, because that's where the first class section on a Stadler usually is, and then I just bang on my 321 either to Shenfield or London or wherever. So and that is nice and convenient. There's a Braintree service right behind the Stadler.
My dogs are going crazy right now. I can hear them barking away like hell.
We have actually arrived in here about a minute early, so we're good on time, but the timetable doesn't seem to be too slacky, but we seem to be pretty good. We actually stop at Ingatestone next, which I think only Clacton and Ipswich services do.
I believe so.
I'm not too sure. Again, we've got the door glitch going on that DTG have on many of their models, where the front and last doors of a unit don't open. In fact, the whole rear unit hasn't had its doors opened, although it's very clearly all on the platform. So that's very strange. Alright, we're now ready to depart out of Chelmsford as a 90 passes through.
I can't.
Our next stop will be Ingatestone. And also I seem to have broken the cab occlusion on the 360 as well, because that 90 we passed, we've got both the windows shut and it sounds like we're right next to it. In fact, you can't open the windows on a 360, can you? Because you have air conditioning. Cool, thanks for that, CP Trains. I'll have a look after the stream. Very nice, but the Great Eastern does really need a speed upgrade, doesn't it? I'm not actually too sure whether the Stadlers are capable of 125 miles an hour or not. But there are definitely parts of the Great Eastern that could do with 125 miles an hour.
I don't think a Stratford needs to go at 125. It's fast enough going 100.
I've just got a message from Aaron in capital letters saying I saw it. I saw it, OMG. I think he's just because Aaron's in Birmingham area right now, and I think he's just seen the rail tour of 20s that are going down to Stratford-upon-Avon, and maybe it's given him a nice clag when it's leaving. That's my guess. Starters are 100 max. They're certified for 100 max.
They do go 100 miles an hour from just after Chelmsford.
There are Swiss flirts of exactly the same spec that can go 140. But the Great Eastern can't go above 100 anywhere. It doesn't go above 100 anywhere. So there's no point of it really going above 100 for the time being. But I reckon with modifications to infrastructure and the train, it could go 125. For example, in Poland, the flirts are 125 miles an hour, or 200 kilometers an hour, depending on which way you look at it. I mean, Poland, they measure everything in kilometers an hour. Much of Europe, they measure everything in kilometers an hour. We're one of the only countries that don't measure everything in kilometers an hour.
I think it's only between I think it's between Chelmsford and Colchester that it's 100 miles an hour. I could be wrong.
But there's a bit between Stowmarket and Norwich, that's also 100. Most of the bit between Stowmarket and Norwich is 100. The speed limit through Dis is definitely 100.
I think every European country except the UK measures in km.
I think you're right on that one. If anyone knows of any countries that measure in miles an hour, do let me know. But I think all of them measure in kilometres an hour. There is a small section in the UK. High Speed 1, of course, measures in kilometres an hour, but that's because it links to Europe. And actually, no, Crossrail measures in kilometres an hour as well. Because it uses ETCS, European Train Control System.
That's true, actually. No problem.
Anyway, now arriving into Ingatestone. And yes, the current date for when Crossrail will open is rumoured to be February 2021. Although that could be February 2029, or I don't know, it could be a while. But the progress on Crossrail is moving about, we worked out it's moving at about 9 times quicker than it was before, so it's quite possible that we'll hand over February 2020. I mean, the only stations left to hand over to TfL are Paddington, which should be handed over later this week, Whitechapel, which is nearly ready, Canary Wharf, which is nearly ready, and Bond Street, which Crossrail have said will not open with the line, which will probably open in the later part of 2022.
They could always open the line, but put a new announcement on the train saying the next station is closed. This train will not stop at the next station.
That's what they're going to do when the line first opens. The prediction is, unless, for example, unless the construction at Bond Street somehow accelerates so much it can open with the line, it will not open with the line. So trains will go straight from Tottenham Court Road to Paddington.
Would like to go Shenfield to Reading one day.
Did I say rumoured February 2021? Did I? Apologies about that. February 2022. That's when it's scheduled to open.
I was gonna say, you're a bit late for February 2021. It's already been and gone.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right on that one. Oh, what have we got here in the siding? Is that a 60? Oh, look what we've got in the siding here. 66793. Not sure what that's doing up in these parts. That one's based at Tunbridge, but we'll see whether we can get a nice screenshot with it. And pause. Nope. And pause. We should have gone with the previous one. Never mind. Excuse us.
That's where they're doing driver training runs.
Maybe it just seems to be sitting outside Ingatestone. Oh, pause. There we go.
Unless that's going to Colchester goods loop.
Maybe it is. 66793 was scheduled to go to Colchester at some point a few months ago, but it didn't in the end. Here's another set of 321s. Not too sure where they're going. February 2023, you're placing your bets on that one. I think I'm with you, the bigger D.
I think Bond Street will be skipped when it opens.
We're fully including the Stratford and Great Western link. Yes, they'll be opened, well, they're saying later part of 2022, but that could easily be the later part of 2023. So the initial stage of the line will operate between Paddington and Abbey Wood, with the new turn-back siding at Paddington being completely automated. So the driver goes, as the driver arrives into Paddington, he opens his doors, presses a little button, the train will close its doors by itself, drive off into a siding by itself, park itself, and reverse it as the driver walks down the train, through the train to the other cab. And it will reverse automatically, and it will be set in the adjacent platform, ready for the driver to depart. What a clever system.
Whenever someone's on a 720 next, when you approach Shenfield, there's an announcement saying change to Elizabeth line.
Yes, they do that on the 720s. They don't say TfL rail, but it would be a bit silly to put TfL rail on the announcements, because TfL rail will probably be no more in about a year's time. It might confuse some tourists. Yes, that is the siding at Westbourne Park.
Makes me wonder when the line between Shenfield and Reading opens, will they still do London Liverpool Street to Shenfield as an extra capacity?
They'll do Liverpool Street to Gidea Park at peak times, out of the main high-level station. But the main part between Shenfield and Reading probably won't open for a bit, at least until the end of 2022. That's the earliest date that Crossrail have given us when it will open.
I mean, like, will Elizabeth line, when they do Shenfield to Reading, will they still do London Liverpool Street to Shenfield during the day, along with the Shenfield to Reading?
No, they won't, because the capacity will be high enough. They won't do Liverpool Street high level to Shenfield anymore. They will do a Liverpool Street to Gidea Park during peak times. Is it safe to close the doors on its own? I'm not sure. Maybe, maybe the driver closes the doors. I'm not too sure on how the system exactly works, but it's something like that. The train drove itself into a siding, then drives itself out again. Hello CSM, hello Romer's World of TfL. I've just made a very late entry into your competition. Sorry about that.
TfL will be rebranded as the Elizabeth line once it opens, but as separate services until the train.
Yep, that would be correct. So it's the Crossrail project, as in the construction is all, you'd say it's Crossrail construction. And, for example, you'd say the Crossrail project, but you wouldn't say the Crossrail line, you'd say Elizabeth line. And once the line opens, you wouldn't call it Crossrail anymore.
I don't know if it's me or not, but I'll keep you on.
Possibly you're a bit tired? I just love the texturing on this 315 by AP, it's amazing. everything is just so pinpoint. I mean, the font's a bit wrong on the door close stickers, but apart from that, they've done a really good job on that. AP never failed to impress me. And emergency brake's gone off again.
I might ask the developer of this route to see if we can upgrade what's the word? Upgrade Shenfield to have 6 platforms as it is right now.
Yes, that will be nice.
I don't know if it's me or not, but it's really a pain for TFL to be on platform 4 when Great Anglia uses that platform.
Because in real life there is a platform 6, which is about here. There are 2 TFLL/Elizabeth line terminating platforms here at Shenfield. Platform 4 is still used by Southend Victoria services. So what I usually do here for this scenario, just to make things easier and to stop things colliding, is I use all the Greater Anglia platforms normally, but just put all the TFLL on platform 5 only, which can make it a bit difficult. But it is what it is, as a Braintree service arrives.
What I usually do is put the TFL trains on platform 3 and 4, no, 4 and 5, and put the Southern Victoria trains going via platform 3.
And I see. I've noticed that causes a few issues, because platform 4, if you look on the route map, it's directly connected to, excuse me, this platform 4 is directly connected to the Southend Victoria link, so it's just a lot easier. Train Sim will route trains by default if they're going to Southend through platform 4, so if you've got TFL rail on platform 4 as well, that's going to cause a few problems. Which is, I tried that before, I used to do the same, until I realised that that's how it worked. CB trains, is there a steam link to this route? Unfortunately not. The Great Eastern Main Line London to Norwich was discontinued from the Steam store about a year ago. Still not too sure why. This route is available to download via a Facebook group, which I will link. I will send a direct message to you. I think I have done already actually. If you click on the link, then click on announcements, then you'll have the latest release version of the route. Version 2.7 is the latest one, which features the extension to Clacton and the reworked Braintree branch. So it's not available on Steam. As far as I'm concerned, the Facebook group is the only way of downloading it. That's where I got it from.
And it's Google Drive for the download, for any downloads from the Facebook group.
Yep, Google Drive's pretty self-explanatory though. Just look for the big download button and then you're there.
I'm pretty used to using Google Drive because I use that at school for work.
Oh, I've realised I haven't been looking at my track map. I'm still on the Chelmsford map.
But from September, I won't be posting many videos when I used to. Because still my exams are coming up in PPs, PPEs or whatever.
Oh, you've got yours, son. I see.
I know I'm not posting as much of video content right now, but it's only because I'm struggling with editing right now, and it's just hard to keep up with uploads really.
Because I've been off, for example, your Hackney Downs video. I keep meaning to try to help you editing that one, but first of all, I've just been so busy. That's partially why I haven't been uploading very much recently, and also last week I was up in Chester. Literally got back yesterday. I have one video scheduled for tomorrow, which I edited before I left. But yeah, Josh, I'll try and get your video out as soon as possible. Anyway, we're going along a very fast stretch of the Great Eastern Main Line now through outer London, Essex, that part, the controversial bit. So it goes, I'm not sure what service that was. That an Ipswich one or a Southend one or where are we? That was a Southend Vic one. Now passing Harold Wood as a Class 315 sits in the platform. All the Class 315s you see in this, even in the modern era, will be Class 345s. As another 90 passes us. Signal glitches. Missing assets. Oh, you're having internet issues, okay. That's fine. You just end the call and call me back when you're ready, alright? Maybe it's just me, but it looks a lot more textured, the spot. Now passing Gideon Park, very nice station. No barriers, still no barriers here. Timeliness reasons, I am going to coast a bit because we are going to arrive into Stratford about a minute early. That doesn't look like it's helping very much because our ETA is actually going down still. As we just passed Romford, do you remember the last time we drove on the Great Eastern through there? I completely forgot it existed and sped past it when we're supposed to stop there. That was on a Southend Vic service. Oh, that was close. If I'd have missed that, I'd have been very sad. Have I filmed 66793 yet? I might get an opportunity tomorrow. Oh, is it coming through somewhere? And if it's going through the Sidcup loop, maybe on the Who to Whitemore or the Who to Eastleigh. Who to Eastleigh? Yeah, Who to Eastleigh. Or one of the either on the Sidcup loop, then that'll be very handy as well, because the 707 will be down there as well, won't it? It might be on a Grey and Colnbrook. Alright. I've seen it definitely does those runs, so maybe we'll be lucky and we'll catch that one. Now passing Chadwell Heath, I believe this is. Is this Chadwell Heath? Or is this Good Maze? This is Chadwell Heath, Good Maze will be the next one. We're still running a bit early, aren't we? That's Good Maze. We're well into London now. And I'm passing Seven Kings. Our ETA is still going down. It goes through Lewisham at 9:49. The Sidcup 707 at 11:57. Alright, the one at Sidcup is at 11:57 for clarity. Alright, that's helpful. So we might be able to combine both. If 66793 does turn up, I will head down to Lewisham. I'll check tonight whether 66793 is at Grain or will be going to Grain. Why are we slowing down? It's almost like we were supposed to stop at Ilford. I was preparing for a stop at Ilford. You can hear Ilford flyover. The up and down electric or slow lines now go over us, and they're on the other side. I'd quite like to film at Lewisham in general as well, because Lewisham is a pretty interesting station, isn't it? Quite a lot going on there. Alright, now we're on our way towards Stratford. Oh, Josh is calling me back. Excuse me a minute. Oh, I missed audio call, okay. Hello?
Hello?
Oops, yep, sorry about that.
I had some technical difficulties there.
I see. Oh, we've got no wires here. We've just passing Manor Park. It's like a 315 just come out of Aldersbrook.
If you want, I can check what working on 66793 on tomorrow morning when I'm awake tomorrow, and I can message you privately what working it's doing.
Alright, that's fair. Just gone under the Goblin line, which you drove a few weeks ago. Oh, red. No, we haven't got red, fine.
I'm here for no trains for a while, not going to bother. So I'm having so many issues with it somewhere.
Chainsaw is a bit temperamental, isn't it? It's a very strange game. It needs an upgrade. I wouldn't be too unhappy, to be honest, if they just re-released, or for Train Sim 2022 they didn't. What they did is just, I mean, the graphics on Train Simulator 2021, some people say they're bad. That's because it's made of an old version of Unreal. There's not much really you can do about that. But it just made it more stable, so it doesn't crash, doesn't corrupt files automatically, stuff like that. That'll be really good if it just stops doing that, because it is really difficult to work around.
I don't think there's a fix for the issues I've been having on Train Sim.
Yeah, because the issue you're having, you've tried everything, haven't you? You've verified the files, you've uninstalled the whole game and reinstalled it again, and you're still getting the same issues. With the tracks not showing up, the sky being black and the floor being white, stuff like that.
Missing routes, missing...
Yeah, not to mention the missing routes, missing quick drive consists.
Can't even make quick drive, I can't even drive on quick drive, careers, scenarios. Can't even make scenarios and whatnot.
Anyway, we're now going to Stratford. Something's missing here, I can tell. It's a bit bare, isn't it? I'm not sure though. Have they done up Stratford? Oh, they've done up Stratford, haven't they?
I don't know if this is weird or not, but when I went up to London, I think it was Friday had just gone and whatnot. I got a Jubilee line from West Ham up to Westminster, and the destination said Neaston.
Sometimes they do go there because the main Jubilee line depot's at Neaston, isn't it?
Then at Canning Town it said Wembley Park.
66793 is at Tunbridge currently, alright. So it depends whether it goes up to Who this evening or not.
Let's see what working it's doing right now.
It's Tunbridge right now. So we just arrived here at Stratford.
It's not doing anything at the moment.
The absolute best station on the Great Eastern Main Line. My favourite station on the Great Eastern Main Line. You've got 378 down there. So obviously got our train and got a couple of 315s here. Oh, there's another 321 arriving in now. Where's this one going? Oh, that one's going to Clacton as well, apparently.
Yeah, that'd be about right this time. Because it's usually comes into Stratford about 24 to 25 minutes past the hour.
Still arrived in a bit early, but we went half line speed from about Ilford, didn't we? When we used to always go to Stratford, we used to always film from this bridge, which is there's only no Gram 378 leaving there. Had absolutely amazing views. Didn't really. Well, you couldn't really see. Well, you could see everything from this bridge. Absolutely. I might pay another visit to Stratford and just to go up that. Oh, he left before the doors closed. Just to go up on that bridge. Emergency brakes going off again. As we are now ready to depart for our final stop at London Liverpool Street. If 66793 is at Tunbridge currently, then hopefully it goes to Who or Grain or somewhere like that. Or maybe it just goes off into the west.
That it might do, but I'm not sure. 3 whiskey 75.
That's an RHTT.
Oh, is it? I doubt it could do this. Tunbridge West Yard, GBRF to Burton West Yard, GBRF.
I'm not sure where's Burton West Yard, that's quite a long way away, isn't it?
That is after Coulsdon Parkway.
Oh, alright. So hopefully it doesn't go up there. If it's gone up there, it's not coming back. They'll probably do Grain Oil Terminal to Colnbrook. Alright, so yeah, we just need it to go up there this evening.
There's nothing scheduled to go up to Hill Junction or something this evening. Let me check tomorrow.
Got more proof of the 60 mile an hour speed restriction.
I found the right loco movement from Tunbridge West Yard to Eastleigh Works.
I'm not sure. Does that one ever run? I'm not sure. Or maybe it will go from Tunbridge to Eastleigh or something like that. Maybe tomorrow morning if it's still at Tunbridge. Then it may very well just stay at Tunbridge and then do a service out tomorrow morning. Either way, it'll probably go through Sidcup or Lewisham.
If it does run, it goes by Staines.
Oh, so it goes that way. It will go via Lewisham or Sidcup, won't it? Because that's... And actually from Tunbridge...
There's a 0 Yankee 04 headcode from Tunbridge West Yard GBOF to Grand Full Terminal GBOF automatic. It's been activated, but I don't know what 66 will be.
That probably won't be it, because it will need to leave. It will need to leave pretty early, because
It leaves Tunbridge West Yard at 4:30 in the morning.
oh, so it could be that one. You never know, it could be that one. The 432 from Tunbridge West Yard's going on the terminal. We'll go through Blackheath later on. Alright.
Then it's possible working is 6 Victor 04 Grand All Terminal GBOF to Collinbrook Bar GBOF.
And that will be what time? Excuse me, what time does that pass Lewisham?
It passes Lewisham at 10 to 10.
Oh, then that'll be it then, that'll be the same one. If it does run 0 Yankee 04, then we know it will be doing the grain to Colnbrook tomorrow morning. It probably is that one. It has been doing pretty much every Monday for the past few months, alright.
So it's likely to be 66 and 93 then.
As we know, the East London line is going over us.
I'll ask someone to jump on general chat on Messenger, see if they can confirm.
As we're now passing Bishopsgate's old platforms. This area into Liverpool Street is covered with flags, different countries' flags, saying welcome. Unfortunately, they haven't added that into the new update. Right, I've got a green feather. So yeah, that makes sense. We'll be coming into platform 14 here at Liverpool Street, which is on the not so nice side of Liverpool Street. There are two sides to Liverpool Street. There's a nice side of the big canopy, and then there's a disgusting side, which is just flat roof, or it's just very low roof, and it feels pretty cramped. There's our theatre, so we are coming into platform 14. No train sim has told us that already.
I just asked someone to transport general chat on Messenger, and apparently 6 Victor 04 from Grand Old Terminal GBOF to Collinbrook Bar GBOF isn't always 66 and 93.
Alright, that's not any more information than we already know. I have a feeling the Burton train will be 66733 or 66731 went to Tunbridge for the weekend from Burton a few weekends ago. I think Liverpool Street is the only partial underground terminus in London after Moorgate. Ah, I see what you mean.
Speaking of Moorgate, when I went through Moorgate on Friday, just gone, I saw a S8 stop on the main platform at Moorgate, just doing nothing.
I've got a very interesting couple of videos that I recorded a few weeks ago, where I saw a Circle line terminating at High Street Kensington and a Hammersmith and City line terminating at Moorgate. That's filmed on various subsurface line stations. It won't be a very long video, it's basically just videos of me running around Barbican thinking, hang on, is that a Hammersmith and City line train terminating at Moorgate? Anyway, we are now arriving into platform 14 at Liverpool Street, about a minute early, as we have been doing for most stations along the route today. And well, that was fun. Just on the whole Sunshine Coastline, Clacton to Liverpool Street. That's my first time actually ever doing that route, so it's very nice to see. Whoops. you wouldn't be allowed to do that in Liverpool Street, would you? Oh, is that a 379 coming in? Yes, it is, with its disgusting sound, which will hopefully be rendered obsolete in the next couple of weeks when the 379 pack from AP comes out. Look, I mean, it hasn't even got its pantograph up. It's worrying, isn't it? And then the sound's horrible. 6, 6, 7, 16 twice on the grain oil. But either way, I'll be happy. We'll have a look tomorrow morning, will we? Anyway, as this story will be ending very shortly, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching the stream today. If you did enjoy, then do... Oh, emergency brake's going off. Then do click the like button down below, and do consider subscribing if you do enjoy my content. Next week, we'll be driving in the also newly released AP Class 455 from Coulsdon Town to London Bridge, running via Tulse Hill. Which will be a very interesting one indeed to do as well. The reason why we're not starting at Town Corner is because you can't do that in Train Sim as of yet. So yes, until next week, bye everyone.
Bye bye.
Yes, I will go on Discord after this. See you in a bit.
Oh.